Hi everyone, I'm Paige from Yoga Medicine. Today I have designed a 15-minute flow for sciatica. We are soothing the sciatic nerve and releasing areas of tension in the spine, hip, and leg. With all of these poses, go gently. None of these should cause pain or bring up symptoms of your sciatica. If they do, back off until you no longer feel pain or skip that pose until you can do it without any pain. For this flow, you'll need just one block, and if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. We'll begin by lying on our backs. As you make your way down onto your back here, slowly lower down, taking a moment to just adjust, planting your feet on the mat nice and firm. We'll slowly start to begin cinching the waist into the spine so that you feel a little bit of compression of the lower back into the mat. Arms can be alongside the body or on your belly, whatever feels best for you today. So what we're trying to do here is build a little bit of strength so we can relieve the compression through that sciatic nerve. So for these toe taps here, you're just going to bring the knees up into tabletop position. Make sure that lower back still is connected with the mat. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, we're gonna tap just the right toes down to the mat, trying to keep the hips and the spine stable. We don't want anything to move. If they start to move, just don't go quite as deep. And then we'll lift that right leg up. And now we'll go into the second leg. Tap the left toes down. Only so long as you can keep the hips and spine steady. Lift it up, and then lower the right toes down. We'll continue this with our breath for a few more rounds, inhaling up, and then exhaling to tap onto your left. Inhale up, exhale, tap onto your right. Inhaling up, exhale, tap onto your left. This will help you to build strength through this area in the body so that we're not resting in and compressing through that sciatic nerve. Continue your toe taps for one more round. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. And when you're complete with your toe taps here, you'll hug the knees in nice and tight. Maybe draw the forehead up to touch the knees or reach toward the knees. Letting all of that go, releasing through your core, releasing through the back. And then we'll slowly just lie back down onto our mats, pausing for a moment so you can feel that strength that you have built through the abdomen. For our second flow here, we're actually going to come into what we'll call some sciatic flossing. So you'll just hug one knee into your chest and interlace your hands behind the thigh. If you feel pretty tight here, your hamstrings are a little bit close, you're welcome to keep the knee further away. If you can though, see if you can interlace the fingers behind the thigh and just slowly start to squeeze that knee into your chest. Continue drawing the navel down to the spine to feel that compression of the lower back onto the mat. Now from here, we'll flex those toes that are up in the air and see how far you can begin to straighten. Remember, this isn't necessarily for a hamstring stretch. We're just trying to get some gliding in the muscles through the back of the legs and through the lower back. One more breath here. And now we'll point those toes and then rebend, releasing. Flex your toes here and slowly extend just until you feel that stretch, and that's where you'll want to stop. Go ahead and point your toes and slowly release. We'll take this just a couple more times on this side. Flex the toes, extend it out. Point your toes and release. So you might be able to feel those muscles actually moving around behind your hands on the leg. Extend, flexing a lot here. That helps you to activate the leg. And then point, that helps us to get into a different part of those muscles. We'll take one more round, flex the toes, and slowly extend. And now you'll point and drop it right down. To release, just set that foot down on the mat. I like to toe heel the feet out nice and wide to the edges of the mat. And just windshield wipe the knee side to side to let that go. And we'll come right away here into our second side, planting all 10 toes on the mat, hip width distance apart. Hug that left knee into your chest. Feel the navel draw down to the spine, imprint the lower back on your mat. And then here, either pull in really nice and tight or keep it loose depending on the flexibility of your hamstrings. When you're ready, we'll flex those toes and extend them up just until you feel the stretch. Remember, this isn't about the hamstrings, it's more about the muscles gliding against one another. Go ahead and point your toes and slowly drop it down. flex, and rise up, 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 up. Feel that stretch and shifting. Go ahead and point your toes and release. Make sure you're stable through the core and stable through your spine. Flex and reach. Point and drop it down. We'll take 2 more rounds here. Flex and extend just until you feel that edge of a stretch. Point your toes and slowly extend down. Last one here. Go ahead and stretch it up. Point your toes and gently drop it down. Once you're done, release the leg down on the mat. Toe heel those feet mat width distance apart. And again, you can find that windshield wipe to gently release. Nice, so we've gotten a little bit of activation through our core. We've got a little bit of activation through our legs. Now we're going to come over into a reclined figure 4. So I actually like to start reclined figure 4 seated because it helps me to get the legs nice and settled. So lean back here into your arms. We'll start with the right side. So you'll flex the right toes and cross that right ankle over the thigh so that your foot is actually hanging out on the outer edge of that leg. Once you have your leg there, you can start to play with the depth of your stretch by shifting your hips forward or away from that heel. I'm going to start around the middle and then slowly lie down. Once you're lying down here, you'll keep that left foot on the ground for just a moment. Bring your right hand to your right knee because it's likely pointing towards your face, just like mine. And now you'll want to gently press that knee away. Maintain a gentle flex sensation through your foot. And with this arm, you're starting to feel a little bit of lengthening and tractioning through the lower back and into that hip. This will help decompress that area through the sciatic nerve so that you're releasing any pressure that you might feel on a day-to-day basis. And now you can stay here. This might be really great for the symptoms you're experiencing, but if you do want to take this a little bit further, we'll release that knee and curl the chest up. Your hand that was pressing the knee away will go through the hole that you've created, and then you'll lift up your foot and either grab onto the hamstring that's a little bit more accessible, less of a stretch, or if you need something slightly deeper, you can grab onto that shin to rest the head, neck, and shoulders down. Knowing that this one's a little bit deeper today, I'm gonna go for the hamstring. So once you are lying on the back here, continue pulling the navel to the spine and energetically press your right knee away from your face using the muscles out here in this hip socket. You'll start to feel a little bit of shifting here. Hopefully you feel some opening across the lower back. We'll hold this for just 3 more breaths, finding a little bit of ease and release despite the activity in the body. We'll take 2 more here. One more. And when you're done, gently let go of the leg, replace the foot on the ground, uncross that right leg, and we'll just take those windshield wipes again just to release any tension that may have built up in the outer hips or even in the lower back. So we'll roll over to our side to start sitting up once again. So come on up to your seat. Once you're up this time, we'll actually cross the left ankle over your right thigh. So flex those left toes, find your cross here, and just take a moment. Decide how close you want your hips to be towards your heel. The closer to your heel, the deeper the stretch. Take a moment here to feel this, and then we'll slowly begin to make our way down. Once you are down here lying on your back, pull the navel to the spine and take your left hand to press that left knee away. So with this left knee away, start to feel a little bit of tractioning in the lower back, in that hip socket, and it should feel like a really great release through the sciatic area. Take 1 more breath here. And then keep an eye where this knee is at in space. We're gonna try to keep it there. Peel up your chest. The left hand will go through the hole you've created. And just as we did before, you can grab your thigh or you can grab that shin. I'm choosing the thigh today. And then rest your head, neck, and shoulders back on the mat. So the arms are nice and long. The pressure of your leg is just reaching down, and the rest of your body can relax into this. That left knee is energetically pressing away from your face so you can continue feeling that opening sensation through the lower back. You have a gentle flex through the left heel that just helps us to keep the knee in place so we don't do anything funky. Breathe here. Start to feel that opening and release, not only in the hip, but really across the lower back. We'll take 2 more breaths. Letting the body settle into this opening, feeling the release of pressure. 1 more breath. And then on your exhale, gently release your hands from that thigh. Uncross the ankle here. Toe heel the feet out so that they're mat width distance, and we'll just windshield wipe the knees here side to side. So for our second pose here, we can just stay right on our back, but make sure you have your block handy. We're gonna set ourselves up for a supported bridge pose, so all 10 toes are gonna point away from you, hip width distance apart. You're gonna press the heels into the mat, pull the navel down into the spine so you find a lengthening sensation through the lower back. From here, arms can press into the mat as you push off of your heels to slowly peel the hips up 1 vertebra at a time until you reach your shoulders. Now here's our handy block. I like the medium setting here. You might want the lower setting. On the medium setting, there's a flat bony prominence right at the lower back here. We're gonna slide the block underneath there and then rest your hips on your block. Once you're here, you should feel a little bit of that tractioning that we just did in that figure 4, and you can completely relax all of the weight of your hips on the block. What this does is elongate the lower back so that you can start to feel a little bit of opening. And we'll just close the eyes here so that you can connect with the breath. And this might feel pretty dreamy. We'll take 5 breaths here just to settle on the block, feeling that decompression, lengthening and opening. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then I like to imagine just the entire body melting over the block so that you can become one with your props. We'll finish up here with 2 more breaths. Last one here. And to re-support ourselves to come off of this, you'll push through your heels, slightly engaging through the legs, and then slide the block out with as little movement as possible. We'll slowly roll down 1 vertebra at a time, holding the pelvis as the last thing to touch the mat. Once you're down here, toe heel your feet out, mat width distance apart, and let the knees prop into one another. This will continue that opening through the lower back, allowing the body to settle into the stretch just a little bit longer. We'll take 1 more breath here. Then toe heel your feet back through center. We'll start to bring the knees up over the hips. Open your arms out nice and wide into their T for our final pose here. We'll drop both legs all the way over to the right, turning the gaze to the left. Nice gentle spinal twist here. And keep in mind, if this is too deep, you're welcome to put that block right between the knees, and that'll relieve some of the pressure from the lower back. And while you're here in your twist, just start to let go of the breath. Allow it to feel a little bit more natural. The block is particularly nice when we're working on this sciatica area because it can help open the space. And we'll take 1 more nice big deep breath. If you have the block between your legs, you're more than welcome to stay there, or you can support it with your hands. Inhale, come on up through center. Just pause in center to re-lengthen the spine. And then we'll drop both legs over to the left. Gaze will look out to your right. And you're just melting the shoulders down, letting the legs rest into your block so you feel that opening through the lower spine. Noticing the natural cadence of your breath. Begin to settle down. Take one more big deep breath here. And on your next inhale, gently come on back through center. You can remove the block from your legs if you have it. Gently hug the knees in nice and tight to your chest. Feel that length through the spine. Start to notice some of the space and engagement you've created through the lower back and hips. One more breath. Then exhaling, release your feet down to the mat. And all together we'll roll over to our sides. Pause for a round of breath on your side as we prepare for the rest of our day. And then inhale to press yourself up into a nice comfortable seat. Thank you for watching, everyone. And for more information on how to relieve your sciatica, visit healthline.com.